So I can tell you one thing, it's gonna look super good at night, and it looks fantastic from about 10 feet away. Good from far, far from good, that sort of thing. Just when you thought it couldn't get any uglier, it now looks like Scarface and a Smurf tried to make a baby on my car. I'm wearing my own shirt. So, in this episode, we are going to spray paint my entire car. Now, before you guys say anything about why I should or should not do it, shut your mouth, let me explain. This Civic SI was previously plastidipped very badly, put on way too thin. Long story short, it baked in the summer heat. And it's not going to come off without me sanding it. On top of that, the clear coat of this year's Civic was so bad, it was recalled by Honda. So the clear coat is shot, lifting, faded, all that, and then there are patches of plasti dip everywhere. It looks terrible. So it is white, black, green, and blue. It does not look good. What will look good is when it's all one color. This is Rust-Oleum gloss protective enamel in the basically shiny primer color. It has become known as Nardo gray or battleship gray. It's shiny primer. So I'm going to sand down the whole car. I'm going to spray paint the whole car and then show you guys. At the end of the video, I will discuss when you should and when you should not spray paint your whole car, because there's definitely a time to do so and when to not do so. I'll kind of go over how long it should last, pros, cons, all that jazz. For now, enjoy my tireless labor of sanding for hours, sped up into mere moments. And we'll see how it turns out. Here we go. The 80 grit, I'm sure that made some of you cringe. I'm just trying to knock down the parts of the clear that are okay, I didn't miss that. Parts of the clear that are cracked, and then the plastidip. The plastidip I'm sanding off instead of using some sort of remover because it's been baked in the sun so much and it's really thin, so it's actually coming off really good with the 80 grit. So once I knock down all the rough stuff, then I'm going to go over the entire car with 220, smooth out all the 80 grit lines, because those will definitely show through. And then we'll paint it. So I'm gonna keep going. Okay, so I was going to paint that, but I have to drive it home, so I'd like to give it a little more time to dry. That was a lot of freaking sanding, but it's ready to go. So tomorrow when I get here, put it out back again, hose it off, go over it lightly with the SOS pad. What I was doing with the SOS pad, sorry, I shot water up my nose. What I was doing with the SOS pad is getting some of the heavier sand marks out that I didn't get before, and then just kind of scrubbing the dust that had kind of stuck on. So I'll just do a quick once over tomorrow, bring it in here, the air dry it off, let it sit for a little bit. It's probably going to take me by myself a good hour to tape off, so I'll let it dry enough, and then I'm going to paint it. So we'll see you tomorrow, or in a minute. It's for you, it's like we'll see you right now.
Perfect, perfect, perfect.
Okay, so that took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Took 9 cans. What I did learn, which will be good if you guys ever want to try this at home, that paint lays super duper well. However, it is similar to clear in that, like if you have a fast hardener on a clear and say you paint the passenger side of the car and then you start doing the hood and then you get to the driver's side of the car, if the paint dries fast enough, the overspray from the other side will show as like dusty. That, when I did the fender, I was able to focus on just that little section the whole time, lay it nice and heavy, not having to worry about anything else. And it looked great. It looked like pretty freaking good for out of the can. Doing the whole car, I ran into the overspray dust kind of issue. So I probably am not going to do anything about it because I don't care about that car. I just wanted it to blend in with its surroundings instead of looking like a Smurf got pooped on by geese or something, and I've accomplished that. But if you want to do a whole car with that paint, it will do a good job. What I would recommend doing though is I would literally do one panel at a time. I would do maybe do the trunk and then do a front fender. Tape everything off, do those 2, leave it, let it dry, and then the next day pick another 2 panels and do that so you can isolate it, because doing the whole car, and it wasn't very hot today. It was probably only 75-ish maybe. Like it rained today, weather was good. And it still dried quick enough to where it showed that. And so towards the end, if you paid attention when I was doing the trunk laid pretty good because I went super heavy on just the trunk because I wanted to see if my theory of isolating one part was correct, and it turns out it was. So overall, I'm super happy with it. That was a tremendous amount of taping and sanding to spray paint a car, but I think it's gonna last. I sanded off the fender that I did a while ago, and it actually sanded pretty nice. It didn't clog the sandpaper too bad. I did wet sand it as well, so if you did do this and you wanted to actually get a good job, you could wet sand it. I have no idea how polishing that would go, but there you have it. There you see it. Ta-da. You're welcome.